Andreas, Georgiou and Barnaby Kellaway, or as our new nickname calls it, the DMB, the Do Nothing Bitches, here at Bellator 158 London Press Conference. It's been an absolute fantastic day here at the Four Seasons Hotel. We've just wrapped up Media Day here for Bellator and Barnaby. We've got a lot of stories to really talk about. As we saw up there, numerous names: Paul Daley, Scott Coker, Liam McGeary, Hoist Gracie. I just want to get your overall kind of feelings. How spectacular that was to see Bellator really come in swinging into this new market here in London.
They are coming swinging, yeah, no doubt about it. The card they're bringing is massive. They've seen the market, and we just spoke to Scott, and he said, yeah, I think the UK will take this card really well, and it's part of a massive weekend as well. So they're really bringing a feast of MMA to British fans in July. It's brilliant. Shame not to see Kimbo. I guess that is. It was brilliant. And imagine if Kimbo was here. Imagine
even better.
Yeah, they said he's going to come over and do some media. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
So the two main events for Bellator 158, the headlining rematch. James Thompson going up against Kimbo Slice. There was some controversy over that fight when they fought 8 years ago in Elite XC. And the fight I don't really need to introduce, but I'm going to do it anyway, and that's Paul Daley versus Josh Koscheck too. Probably the biggest grudge match, the biggest bad blood-fueled fight in the history of mixed martial arts. And those two guys are going to face off at the O2 Arena on July 16th for a very massive card. I just want to ask, look, we saw Paul Daley, as we know, a very outspoken guy. He knows what he's saying. He dropped a nice little line about the ambulance that, Josh Koscheck's going to be going out looking at the roof of an ambulance. Josh was, very calmly spoken. As we know, that he's got a very different approach to things. But how, is the excitement level? How is it? Because just to see both these guys in the room again, and with that face-off as well, can you feel the electricity kind of coming off both these men who've been kept apart for 5 years and all of a sudden been thrust back into the spotlight?
Yeah, big time, especially on Paul Daley. Obviously, he lost, so he's the one who's really got the sort of fire in his eyes. He really wants it. Cool to see him really going after it. He was, pretty good on the mic there. I'm sure people will see some of the things he was saying, really going after him. Yeah, Koscheck was a lot more resigned, as we saw. It's hard to tell there is a lot of excitement because of the way Daley's behaving, but it's hard to tell with Koscheck. He's aging. He's on a very bad run. He's not in here, is he? No, and he's already said this is probably going to be his last fight, and it's hard to
exclusively on MMA Plus.
Exactly, and it's hard to motivate yourself. I think, or maybe it makes motivation easier, but I don't know. I don't know about him, man. I'm not sure.
I think that's what makes it interesting. And I'd actually have to agree with what he said. I mean, you look at the opponents of Daley, and know that they aren't the caliber that Josh Koscheck has been fighting when he was in the UFC. I know he lost those fights, so the last run. But Paul Daley has been fighting lower level guys, and I don't mean that as a disrespectful remark, but it's clear that there has been a difference in competition for the past 5 years. Is that something that may fare into the advantage to Josh Koscheck because he's always stayed at that high level? He's not taken anything easier.
Yeah, definitely. In a way, it can. What doesn't make it easier is the fact that he has lost 5 in a row. Whatever way you look at it, Daley has won 5 in a row, I think, maybe 6, and Koscheck's lost 5 in a row. Yeah, it's very true. The golfing talent is there, but in terms of the confidence and the age that Daley's coming in, he's a much younger fighter. He's taken a lot less damage. You look at the damage Koscheck's taken as well.
Yeah.
And we've seen it time and time again. It without a doubt has an effect on a guy's performance. So, yeah.
Of course, and that's playing into the fact that this may be his last fight because, as he mentioned to us, the injuries, all those times, he wakes up with the sore ankles, the sore back. You don't want to be doing that for the whole of your life. You don't want to be having that pain for the rest of your life either. So I think it's understandable, why Josh is making the decision after this fight to potentially step away from mixed martial arts. But that's the co-main event, as we said, big show. And in the main event, James Thompson, Kimbo Slice, 8 years in the making. I was doing the face earlier, the James Thompson face, when the referee waved it off. I'll do it. That was his reaction.
Bemused.
He was bemused. He didn't think that was the end of the fight, and obviously that's kind of been something that stayed with him. all this time, and with Kimbo, especially after obviously the drug violation, the 90-day suspension, and that fight with Dada 5000, the question marks are kind of there. Like, what kind of Kimbo Slice are we going to see? I mean, his cardio was pretty bad in that fight as well. But again, we know he comes to knock out. We know he's a massive draw for Bellator and for mixed martial arts in general. Do you feel that this is going to be overshadowed by the Cos Daley rematch, or do you think that in its own right it does deserve to be the main event?
I think it kind of has to be the main event in the same way that Conor McGregor has to be the main event. Yeah. Even if he's not fighting for a belt, he has to be the main event because he is the biggest draw. Obviously, Kimbo Slice is not the most athletic of competitors, or anyone. But you don't go for that. You don't go to see, you just go to see Kimbo Slice, and hopefully he'll knock someone out.
3.4 million people to be precise.
Exactly. We don't go to watch his depth of skill or anything like that. You just Kimbo Slice. So it has to be the main event, I think, and it would be weird if he wasn't the main event. That's the one people will, on the night, that'll be the one people are most buzzing about. But there's a huge amount on the card, and especially announced today with Linton Vassell and MVP. They're the fights that, and the co-main as well. I think they're the fights that people like us are really going to be excited for, especially Michael Venom Page, who's incredibly exciting. We haven't had his opponent yet, but let's hope that it's someone ranked, someone who can really propel him up there, and not just someone who can take their head off, although that would be entertaining.
Potentially like Jeremy Holloway this Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully, it's going to be another guy. And I get it, they're building the brand. But hopefully, after that, his homecoming, this will be the moment when he really takes that step up in competition. Yeah,
I feel it's kind of come full circle when we were at the British Invasion press conference last year, the development of Michael Venom Page to now. I do agree with you. I feel that July 16th, that is his homecoming, his real, genuine coming out party to show to the world, I've been knocking these guys out for fun. Put me against the top guys now, and you'll see what I can do. And Linton Vassell as well, just to see the grin on his face, to be on this card, from the Troxy to the O2 Arena, that's a story in itself. And you can see how much it means to him. A guy who, as we say, the light heavyweight division is very stacked, and you're throwing his name up there with King Mo, Rampage Jackson, Phil Davis. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who both of those two fighters, get matched up against. But final thoughts now. If you were to describe the Bellator 158 London show with one word, what would that be? What is it that's really grabbing your attention about this tremendous card, which is, by the way, showcasing British, English mixed martial arts? It's a show in England, it's a show in London, and those guys on the main card are English, they're British, they're holding the flag against the Yankee invasion, and that's what's great to see as well.
Fireworks, I suppose. I think from top to bottom, fireworks, and literally fireworks as well in the arena with the pyrotechnics that they keep sort of bigging up, which I'm excited to see. You don't see it with UFC shows. No. So fireworks from top to bottom, Kimbo Slice knocking people out, Michael Venom Page spinning around the octagon. Really exciting card. Big time. I
think I'd mirror that with my word, which is spectacle. Because that's what it's going to be. We're going to see the music acts, we're going to see the fireworks, we're going to see Kimbo Slice over here at the O2 Arena, 20,000 people packing that out, and it will be a spectacle to see. Really cannot wait for that July 16th O2 Arena. As we said, Bellator are coming, and they are here to make a splash. Barney, big thank you now for previewing this Bellator 158 show. The DMB, I think that's the official title now for us whenever we join forces. Dre and Barney. So there we go, guys. Thanks for joining us, and make sure check out the rest of the channel. Plenty more Bellator 158 stuff that you can check out. Scott Coker, Paul Semtex Daily, Liam McGeary, Linton Vassell. So don't go anywhere and keep watching MMA Plus.